Well, hello, welcome everybody. We're back for episode 78 of Bandwidth and Banter with my co-host Druid IRL. Say hello, Druid. She immediately peeked. That's funny. Just from saying hello. Uh,
Hello.
there you go. Check it out. I got my mug this time, Druid.
Look at
And
you.
look what mug I got.
Look at you. It has our faces on it.
I know, right? There it is. There it is. And then I'm also wearing this T-shirt. So, ironically, I just realized something. We did the merch launch at the Minecraft server day, right?
Yeah.
Did I even put the link up for anyone to go? I don't think I put the link up.
I put the merch link in as one of my panels and stuff. Just the merch link. And then yeah.
I need to get you to make another panel for me, and then I need to put it up. Is it at least in the link tree?
It is in the link tree.
Okay, all right.
So
we have a bunch of
Go buy
mugs
our
printed on our
merch.
mug. Yes, that's right. So welcome back, guys. Last week was amazing. We had as I said then, I'll say again, the incomparable Tarkonix returned.
Love that guy.
And yeah, he's a treat. He's a unique human being, and we're super grateful we got to meet him through our good friend Rusty Tonics, who, by the way,
Rusty
will be
Tonics
on
RPG.
next Friday on my
Cutting it
birthday
ahead.
stream.
You're cutting ahead, sir.
No, I
You're
did it on
breaking
purpose. I did it on purpose. The thing is Rusty Tonics not only brought us Tarkonix, but he brought us the amazingly beautiful, wonderful human being that we're having on today, ryangeewhiz. I can't wait. So I'm just going to jump right to it. I don't want to wait anymore. Everyone, hello. Welcome, ryangeewhiz.
Oh, this whole thing I threw together? No.
Please
We
share,
love you.
introduce yourself and share something about your stream that you want to highlight, my brother.
Well, this whole thing here is just the purple house. It's the big purple house on the hill. I've tried my best to make some place where people can feel at ease. Just turn their brain off for a little bit, just laugh, giggle. Probably jump on some sort of ADHD obsession that I've currently got on. Right now, it's a lot of Minecraft and World of Warcraft, craft and everything.
All the craft.
But chances are I'm going to be jumping to something new really quick. Who knows where I call it riding the dragon whenever I'm on a new ADHD obsession. So whatever dragon I'm riding, chances are, but you can expect a lot of dancing, a lot of lip syncing, a lot of cosplay, a lot of fiddling around with whatever nonsense I can find at the dollar store that day. So come on over, it's fun.
I am somehow reminded of Puff the Magic Dragon. I don't know why.
Very think your Nana's VHS drawer. That's the kind of vibe I want to go for. You've opened up the trunk at your Nana's place, and it's just like full of all these VHS and other crap. That's me. That's this house.
Honestly, though, I think you and my Nana would get along so well.
I think so too.
Mhm.
You actually have no idea, like, how much I think you guys would get along. I would get replaced, and I'm okay
I
with
think
that.
so. Yeah. Oh, she's got I'll mark off a room up there for her. I don't think I've done that for anybody yet. I don't think I've reserved a room for anyone yet. I'll reserve a room for your Nana.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, amazing. But we are going to jump right into the questions here. Our first and most important question we ask everybody is, please share a boring fact about yourself, Ryan.
Oh, a boring fact about me. I have that I'm stuck in the oral fixation, so I've got a lot of like stimuli with the hands and the mouth. That's why I can't quit smoking. Oops. But I really, really love sticky like adhesive and like twirling it in my fingers. So I work at a grocery store where we have tags all the time. You can see me covered with them at all times. I'm pulling them off and I'm just rolling them.
I
It's
can't. One of these days, you need to share a selfie of that.
Oh, I absolutely will. I'm looking around now. I'm trying to see if I have any like discarded circles, not within range, which is actually very strange.
They are not
I must
within
have cleaned
arm's
up.
reach. It's wild.
I must have cleaned up. Oh, and I haven't been at work for a week because of this whole tooth thing, so that's why.
I know. I'm so sorry about your mouth.
Yeah.
Feeling
What a
much
thing to say to
better,
somebody.
much better.
I'm so sorry about your mouth.
I'm so sorry about that mouth. What that mouth do? A whole lot, actually.
Yeah.
This is painful.
I was going to say that I'm sure that people say that to Druid all the time because of how loud she is.
That once or twice too, darling. Don't you worry. I'm right there with you.
I'm kidding. We all love Druid because she's loud.
Exactly. You'll never lose us in a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
It's impossible.
Ryan G. Wiz, our next question is, how did you pick your Twitch name and what was the inspiration?
The Twitch name ryangeewhiz has been mine since I was like, I want to say 10 or 11. Very, very young on RuneScape, Gaia Online, websites like that way back in the day. I was Ryan G. Wiz since the get-go. I know. Gaia Online, right?
Core memory you just unlocked for me. Oh my
None of them
goodness.
good. It's like,
No.
oh, I learned things I shouldn't have. I did things. I said things. No.
Neopets too.
Oh yeah, I might have been Ryan G. Wiz on Neopets as well. I've been Ryan G. Wiz a long time. Ryan, I've doxed myself a lot already. I'm fine with it. Ryan Gallant is my name, so Ryan G. Wiz. So I thought of that a long time ago, and I've been like that forever. Big Purple House on the Hill came from the big blue, the Bear in the Big Blue House.
Oh
that
wait,
old show.
don't jump ahead. We might have that as the next question.
Oh, I got you. I love it. Yeah. So Ryan G. Wiz is a legacy name, and it just comes from Ryan Gallant, my name.
And it really suits you. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Yes.
I've had one or two people say that, and that makes me very happy. That G Wiz is a very a moniker for me that works. So I'm like, yes.
Amazing.
Means I ain't boring.
You right? Ryan, what D&D class do you consider yourself to be in real life?
See, now in real life, I wish I could be one of my favorites, a druid, cleric, or a warlock. I wish I could be one of those. I really think, though, in my life, I'm a barbarian, just because I have those high emotions, and my emotions are like what I use as my fuel. So, like, if I'm having a low emotion day, if I don't care about a thing, it's really hard for me to fake caring about the thing. So if I can't get that oomph, that going there behind me, then I ain't got nothing. So I think I'd be a barbarian.
Honestly, I am also a very emotionally driven person too. That's why I'm always just like, Bard Barbarian is that's my multi-class. And everybody argues with me.
No, I've never once said that those don't apply to you. I just think that you're a trip class. You're a triple class. You are 100% also a druid.
That too. You're very druidic.
Okay. Next question. Ryan, which edition of D&D did you start with, and what is your favorite thing about role-playing a D&D character?
I started with 5e. I was watching the Wizards of the Coast. They did their own. I think it was Escape from Force Grey, I think it was just called Force Grey, Escape from something, and it had Cole Sprouse in it, which was hilarious. All my Sweet Life of Zach and Cody fans out there represent. That's what started me with D&D, was going, that's Cole frickin' Sprouse. I started watching that, and it was 5e. And it was the Underdeep, or Underdark. So that's been my big love, was starting with 5e and doing like anything Underdark was what I was what I kind of thought D&D was about at first. I didn't really think about the world above it. For like a good 6 months into it, I was just like, no, D&D is underground. That's what you do.
Because dungeons are underground, right?
Yeah,
Makes sense.
exactly. But I had always heard about Dungeons and Dragons since like, oh my God, since like 2003 or 2002. So I don't know what edition it was because I never got into it because they kept showing me the book and I was like, good God, that thing is thick. So
It's true.
it's like, no, that's not for me. If they had just told me that it was role play with dice, I would have been right there. But nobody sold it to me like that. I was always like, oh, it made me think more like I'd gotten a little bit of an intro into Warhammer back in the day. So I was like, it's like Warhammer, so it's very intensive. It takes a lot of time. It's very all that. That's not at all. It's role play with dice. So that's been one of my most favorite things. It was about 6 years ago is whenever I jumped into playing D&D there. It would have been 6 or 7 years ago. And it was just from jumping and seeing Cole Sprouse on a video, being like, oh, cool. And yeah, no, it was because of just the idea of it being a role play with dice. I can't really think of exactly my favorite because it's all of it. It's the idea that I can make these characters that I've already, been all about making in just like conversation, making up random little characters and such, but getting to make like I counted just the other day too. I think it's 210 now characters, D&D characters ready to go.
Wow.
Just ready and
to
raring.
go.
Ready and raring.
Damn, dude.
I love character creation and like just making the little worlds, the little quirks, the little like maybe they're a little shitty because they never got fed right. It's just like doing stuff like that, right? Just out of the blue, throwing it in there, seeing how it kind of fits in the pot, how it reacts to a group of people. It's it's all of it. It's all of it. So much so that I oftentimes forget that there is a game involved where you're fighting and you're trying to fight and win things. I'm like, no, this is just a role play game and we're all here to fall in love with each other. Now you marry them.
Literally, I just want no cons and Esper to just be lovers by the end of Tona Tithes. I'm just saying
happening.
It's gonna happen. I don't care.
If not that, at the very least, like we're gonna have like a unrequited love situation where I'm just gonna follow you around. It's gonna be great.
And then we'll cuddle at night and just be like, I love you and I love you too. And then we're gonna go defend the Grove now. And like that's it. I'm okay with that. I want it.
Everything
that's all
will be
I want.
fine.
Okay.
We'll get out. We'll be alive. Everything will be great.
It's gonna be fine.
I have to admit, I've been doing this. I've been a dungeon master since 1981. I started with the original BX set, Basic Expert set. And I've made a lot of characters and NPCs, which technically are characters, right? Just non-player characters. I don't think I've approached 210. I think I think it may be maybe over 100, but I don't know about 210. That's amazing.
I'm not a number to attain. I'm not something to try and reach for. I am a cautionary tale. 200 is not a number that I should. I did say I say everything a little bit with confidence, but should have been 210.
No, it is just an example, one of many examples of ADHD hyperfixations. Just saying. Just saying.
It's one I've held on to for a long time, which is one thing about Twitch, one thing about a few things in my life. If I hold on to it for more than 6 months, that tends to be my dragon's lifespan, and then I have to jump on a new dragon. So anything that lasts longer than 6 months, I just hit about 8 months of streaming, so I know that this is a long time thing. D&D, it's been 7 years, so I'm like, that was once that hit a year, I was like, surely soon I'll lose interest, but nope, still going strong, still love it. So it's once something's been around for me in my life for about 6 months, I know.
Yep, I get
legs.
it. Oh, Ryan, how did you get into pixel art? When did that start?
Now that would have been, I think, just because I was looking for different apps to make things. I really like doing I do all my editing, a lot of emote creation. I try to do it on my phone. I just like being able to either lie in my bed or just be like walking around, wandering about, and being able to just do it wherever. If I'm sitting at the computer and doing Twitch and something and like focusing on that, it's good. I can focus. But something about sitting at the computer, I get very. So I have to be able to do it on my phone and also have that wander. So I think I was just looking for an app that could do that, random drawing, whatever, and I found pixel art. I was like, oh, that might be fun. Started fiddling around with that, found out it could do animation, stuff like that, and just kept falling more and more in love with it, and was doing D&D art for like a lot of different characters of myself, but for other people too. So that's kind of what got me into it was D&D. D&D kept me artistic, I'll tell you that much. I like going into the pandemic, having D&D saved my frickin' artistic life, I'll tell you that. Oh, I would have become a bland Superstore office worker. I would have become a manager at Superstore right now if it weren't for D&D. I tell you that much right now.
Shout out to D&D.
Saved my life.
Shout out to D&D. Yep. It's
Yep.
definitely been a part of my life for a long time. And so, yeah, I totally get it. I totally get
forever thing.
the love for it.
know
There's something about it, right? It's being able to express yourself in new ways and explore different facets of your own, personality and emotions and hell, just having fun, being a superhero. There's so many facets to it, right?
You think about how much of our comedy is situational comedy. Like that's all D&D is a bunch of situations. So like me, I just like to laugh at silly situations that come up in my head. So like that's D&D sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
True.
Scratches
All right.
so many itches. And I'm so
This next
fresh.
question, what is the story behind the big purple house and your body is a wonderland?
Well, first of all, I'll start with Body is a Wonderland because shout outs to Jenna. Jenna K, I love that wonderful person. Jenna and Tarconics are two people that have made so many hilarious bits. And Aves, the adventurer, also was part of coming up with this, where it was just one day in Tark's stream. And we were just talking about John Mayer. And started going on about how like just throwing that into a conversation really nonchalantly is just so wonderful. And like you could just say your body is a wonderland, and before you know it, you're talking about something else. And they're like, "Wait, did he just say that my body is a wonderland?" Wait, it totally throws off the vibe of the whole conversation. That was the bit. So, shout outs to all those beautiful people over at Tark's stream. They've also part of Rusty's stream. They're all part of the same communities. Amazing people, and they come up with some of the most hilarious bits. We call each other the Bit Queens. I love it. Just coming up with these little bits. Again, just laughing at situations. Little situations you come up with. My favorite way to laugh. So they've made me laugh so often. That's where your body is a wonderland started from. I was like, you know what? I have to immortalize this somehow. I made it a redeem in my stream. It's I put hashtag your body is a wonderland in everything I do. I love it. It's one of my favorite things. Just coming up with these little bits and having it in inside jokes like that, where it's really not offensive in any way. It's not silly or anything, or it's very silly. It's not like it's not a mean in any way, right?
Right.
So it's just like it's just something you can throw out there where people are like, what? And that was kind of the point of it too, where it's just enough to throw you off and be like, did he compliment me? I'm going to take it as a compliment.
I have to say, I reached out to both Jenna and Aves the Adventurer, and they both separately brought up, and the only thing they brought up was your body's a wonderland. So shout out to them. I love them.
On a note to
I love
them,
them so
is
much
it
from a
Jenna
different-
_K? Because I think I shouted out.
She doesn't stream. She's just a viewer.
Right. That's right. Aves is a wonderful person who streams every now and again. You always got to catch an Aves stream when it happens because it's always incredible. Does like cosplay stream. They did a Squidward cosplay that will kill you dead. But yeah, amazing folks, beautiful people. I love them to death.
Kill you dead.
Just kill you dead. The Big Purple House came from originally was started with the idea of the Bear in the Big Blue House, that old cartoon. Not cartoon, it was like an old kid show, and I loved it. And just the feeling of, especially at the end in the beginning when they would like show the house and show like the deck, and it was just very peaceful. So I'm like, I want to go for that. So I thought, I like purple. Let's go with purple. I'm not a bear. I've never claimed to be. Let's go with just Big Purple House. So I went Big Purple House on the old AI generator. So I'm like, let's just get like a little icon or something pretty. But it kept sending me houses on top of hills. They would always be on top of these little hills, and they would be like in towns, like outside in the outskirts of nothing. They would be in a giant flat field, but it would be on this little fucking hill every single time. Like, I'm not putting anything about a hill, anything. So I'm like, obviously some cosmic being wants this thing to be on a hill. So I was like, all right, Big Purple House on the hill. And then I realized a couple of weeks ago, I was watching some of the new Fairy Tale, and the Fairy Tale Guild, all my weebs in chat might know, it just has the same kind of look to it. It's just like a little cottage thing, and it's always shot with like a fisheye lens, so it looks like it's on a hill. I'm like, shit, that's what I was going for the whole time. So subconsciously, Fairy Tale. Consciously, Bear in the Big Blue House, and AI made me do it.
Well, I have to say, it speaks to my heart. When I was a kid, purple's my favorite color too. Sorry. And when I was a kid, I always thought it'd be cool to live in a big purple house one day. So,
right.
You have made my dream a reality. Thank you.
There was a house in my neighborhood that had purple doors. I remember, and like that was just like so, especially in Bumble, Frig, God knows where, PEI, Canada. It was just like an island on the East Coast, barely, very, very suburban, if anything, mostly farms. So this one place with a purple door was like the big outrage, and I remember being like, wouldn't it be cool if it was all purple? I remember being like, that's not a problem, a purple door. Why don't we go further with it? So you're definitely in my heart there as well, where it was just like something about a big purple house, something about any big colorful house, right? Like it just seems so audacious, but so like what our childhood heart wants.
Yes.
My Nana's house is the only colorful house on the it's a big yellow house with red trim and a bunch of red roses in the front.
Chicken house. Yes. So I love that stuff.
And the inside of her house, each room is a different color, so you would refer to it by the room color.
I see. Now that's what if I ever own a house, which in this economy, but if I ever own a home that I really feel comfortable staying in for a long time, that's first thing I'm doing is rainbow rooms. So I'm like, this one will be the red one and the orange and the...
Yep. That's what my Nana did.
I see it. I knew I had a kindred moment with your Nana in chat that one time. I knew it.
Yep. Ryan, what drew you to Twitch? What got you here? Tell us the story.
Rusty!
Shout out to Rusty!
Rusty Tonics RPGs. I tell you, that boy, first of all, got me into Twitch, just the idea of it, by inviting me into his D&D stream. I want to say 4 years ago now. It was 3 or 4 years ago. It's been a long time. And just on a whim, was kind of rebooting his D&D streams and wanted to get me in. And I brought him the character of Gregory. And Gregory is a character, like, I will hear this voice until I die. Because this character sits in my soul. I love this character so much, and it's because a lot about of how amazing Rusty is as a DM, and how just incredible of a world he built. But Rusty brought me into his Twitch stream, and for I want to say 2 years, almost 2 years, I was doing that every Monday, and doing holiday streams and etc., and just loving it. And every time we would stop, I'd be like, oh, I want to keep going. So, but and he would be like, "Well, you keep going." Then I'm like, "Well, I don't know." So he was that one. He knew that I was the type of person, especially with something like this, I needed to be like prodded off the cliff. Like I couldn't just be pushed. I couldn't just be coaxed. You had to kind of poke me ever so slightly, every now and again, until I finally did it. And it was because of him. He was always really nice about it. He was never, annoying or being like, "Do it, come on." He was always like, you like it, and I'd be here to help you. So, 100%, the blame is on him.
I love that.
I do
Shout out
too.
to Rusty.
I do too.
Shout outs to Rusty. I love you, baby. You're incredible. Thank you for changing my life in so many ways.
Ryan, what did family and friends think when you told them you planned on streaming?
They were all very understanding in the way that like they were like, "Oh, well, that makes just perfect sense." A lot of them have watched. Like I'm sure there's a couple on right now lurking in the shadows. Trying to explain making a Twitch account to some of them has been difficult, but we've gotten there with some of them, with a couple of them. But a lot of them are just beyond supportive. They're like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." Like they're surprised. They thought I'd been doing it already. A lot of them just because they're like, "Oh yeah, that's just you in a nutshell." I've been Tinkerbell for a long time. I've needed this kind of attention most of my life. So a lot of them were very, very excited and happy. And when I explained it all to my mother, she mostly got it. She stopped calling it a podcast. Real proud of you, Ma.
Good job.
I love her. I love you, Mama.
And now you can tell her, "Hey, I've been on a podcast."
I've
This
been on
is
a
the
podcast.
difference. This is the difference between streaming and a podcast. Like, this is there you go.
I don't know. I can't. Can we just say this is another stream just for this one? Just because I don't want to try and confuse her.
Okay, no worries. This is a stream. Also, I love you, Ryan's mom.
Yes.
I love you so much.
Thank you for bringing him into the
you.
world.
Thank you.
Love you,
Yes,
Mom.
you are loved. Oh my God.
She's just me. If y'all like me, you'll love her. She's literally me in every way. It's so funny the number of people are just like, "You are just like your mother." I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Single mom, raised 2 kids, made 2 of her. That's how she did it.
It's kind of what happens.
She's incredible. Absolute. One of these days I'm gonna have her on because I'd like to. It would be like some heavy stuff, but I would love to have her and like tell her life story because it's heroic, the life she's lived and like the stuff she's done. It'll blow your mind. It'll blow your mind.
I'm there for it. Let me know when.
Ditto.
I want to
Yep.
watch.
She's a
I'll be
hero.
there. What struggles did you deal with when you first started streaming?
Oh, I would say trying to find a balance between like who I am as a person social media wise and like my perception of what I have to do in terms of social media. So like I'm the worst when it comes to social media, when it comes to responding to messages. I'm that kind of person. I respond in my head and then I don't actually do it, or I'm like, I'm overwhelmed. If I get 2 messages at the same time, I respond to neither because I'm just like, there, I'm one of those. And I hate it and it's annoying, but I've tried to like find like a comfortable place. I didn't make a Discord for the longest time because I thought, oh, people would just be disappointed with it. Like I wouldn't, because for some reason in my head, I thought the Discord was just like a 24/7, like I had to be like always there, always responding, always being like, adding things to all the conversations all the time and like trying my best to be on 24/7. It's like, no, that's not at all what it has to be. So trying to find like that happy medium was kind of a little weird. I didn't put any of my own socials out there for the longest time because I was just like, I don't want to have to add more to what I've already added nothing to. No, I haven't started adding more or less. I do a daily thing on TikTok, which is really I found like a fun way to edit them. Again, riding the dragon, ADHD, whenever I feel like I can do it, I make like 6 of them at a time and then I put that in the bank. And then I think I have like 13 in the bank right now ready to go. So
Beautiful.
yeah, like finding that happy medium with social media that was the hardest thing. That's what stressed me out the most. That's why you didn't see a Discord from me for the longest time. And That's what kind of worried me. But realizing that this, along with a lot of other things I've done on Twitch, it doesn't have to follow a mold or a certain way, that I can make this the way I want to. And people will enjoy it, and I can still have fun with it. I've never been a numbers person, so I try my best not to focus on that. It's nice still. I'm sure we can all agree that it's nice to see people liking what we like.
Yeah.
But the fact that there are people out there liking just the random stuff that I put out there is so nice, and has been part of that sort of realizing I don't have to be Julian Solomita or Amaranth or like any of the big streamers. I don't have to be like them in any way, shape, or form. I can just be a silly little guy and do my silly little guy things, and people seem to enjoy it, and they don't expect a different or a more. They just expect me to be me, and that's been So I love all you people, you two especially, but everyone else here. My God,
My God. 100%. That's so valid. That is so valid.
On that note, actually, Ryan, what tips can you share with future streamers?
Do what you do best. Do not be afraid to. I see all the I love yous in chat. I love you, beautiful people. Oh my good God, do I love yous. I would say, do what you do best, and make that. Don't have to. Don't make it stream worthy. Don't make it like something that's going to polish out to a TikTok video. I was trying my best to do that a lot in the beginning. I will stop a game to spend 45 minutes explaining how to make an emote, because that's what I do, and that's what I like to do, and I like to think I can show people some fun and creative ways to do it. So do what you do best, and you'll be surprised how many people are going to resonate with that. Even if they don't resonate personally with it, you'd be surprised how often people get excited about someone being either good at something or excited about it. Do what you do best, and you'd be surprised.
100%.
Great advice.
100%.
It's pretty wild. Hey, pandering is fine too. I played Pal World too. That was a piece of crap, but I did it. It was fine, and it's great now. Actually, I went back to it a few weeks ago. The updates, they polished it out. It's not just Pokemon with guns anymore.
Ryan, what do you enjoy most about streaming? What's your favorite?
I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I do. I knew that doing it with Rusty, I was having a lot of fun, and I knew I would like it to an extent. I didn't think that it would become like something that I think about like doing for the rest of my life. I don't think I've ever thought about doing anything for the rest of my life. And I think about streaming for the rest of my life, and I'm like, what am I going to look like when I'm 60 and I'm streaming? I'm like, I bet I'm going to be a lot of the same. I've never done that with anything. So the idea that I can be creative again, find people who are like me, be who I am, and be not only like find people that are resonating with that, but celebrated for it. I don't know if I can pick one thing. I can say in a lot of ways that streaming changed my life, and saved my life. I don't want to sound cliche.
No, 100%. Get it. I totally get it.
It did. I was headed towards being a very bland, very unfulfilled person, and I was on the track for being that sad, angry gay that you see managing a supermarket at 45 with no prospects for happiness at all on the horizon. I was on the fast track. And my job I also have now. Shout out Victory Meat Market. Love yous. And this have kind of like shown me like, oh no, like just because A, B, and C are over, and just because, the pandemic changed a lot of things with my life, et cetera, doesn't mean that my creativity is over. And I actually can kind of see like how I can be creative for the rest of my life. So I guess if I had to narrow it down, the fact that I can plainly see something creative and fulfilling for me for the rest of my life. That's probably the coolest thing about streaming.
I
Yep.
feel that freaking 100%, sir. I agree with you, like, on every level. Yeah, like, I feel like streaming helps me be the best version of myself. And
Oh, I've been saying that to myself the last couple of weeks since you said it. You said that in one of my streams there a couple of weeks ago. I remembered that. I've been saying it to myself. I'm
yeah,
like, oh, that's so true.
and I also must share comedically. The other thing that I really feel in my bones is I'm only 5 years off from what you said. At least starting next Friday, I'll be 5 years away from knowing what I'll look like when I'm 60 in streaming.
I see. I love that because I thought you were like maybe 40, maybe 35.
Oh,
I was like,
Thank you.
because you got a lot of youthful exuberance to you, my love. Really, God love you. First of all, and second, you're exactly what I want to hope to be, because I'm hoping that I'll exude that kind of happiness and joy where people will be confused. They'll be like, maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe he's 14. Who knows?
Who knows?
I'm gonna go play Roblox. I like that. I appreciate that a lot. Because that's what I want to exude. I want to exude that kind of joy where people are confused about my age too.
And I also want to say too, like, I don't think it's cliche or weird to say that streaming saved your life. Like, I've said it before on Bandwidth and Banter too, like, because I also was on the fast track to a complete annihilation of all of my joy. So for me, streaming has also like really helped open up that creativity and gave me the ability to feel safe to be myself, because I am more authentically me on stream than I am in real life. Because you have to act a certain way at work. You have to act a certain way with family. You have to act a certain way here, and you have to act a certain way there. But when I'm on stream, I can go, hey, I don't care that my mic's cutting out and you can't hear me. And I don't care what my neighbors think.
And that's what you're going to get, because that's what I'm giving you, baby. Exactly. Exactly.
100%. Speaking of voices that will never leave you, here I did it. Anyways.
I have one
This is
too,
the
but
color blue.
With my cough right now, I can't do it.
Oh, blessed. I get the same way. There's a few voices that I've had to retire for a couple of reasons. Like the one I tried to do like this is for a long time, a British ad like this, and she would scream and she would yell, and it would for a whole campaign. And people were like, first of all, I think I was gonna just get murdered by a player, because they were like, I can't deal with this. I can't. At the end of every session, I just be like, certain voices, they get you. They'll get to you.
Yep.
See?
Oh, this is a fun one. Ryan, what is your favorite thing and least favorite thing you have streamed?
Like my favorite and least favorite game, or like
Sure. Yeah.
In general. Yeah. Favorite thing and least favorite thing you've streamed.
Favorite thing, I would probably say, has been the Minecraft. I would say it's been the Minecraft, just like the well, first of all, like Pelican and doing the big purple house and like all of y'all putting that together. That was one of the most special things ever. But just seeing, like, every time I log on, I'll go somewhere and I'll be like, that wasn't there before and shit like that. So I've been loving the Minecraft servers, both yours and I'm also on Dubious Leftovers Minecraft server as well.
Yep.
They're both awesome, both doing the same thing where every time I log on, it's like, oh, that's cool, that's new. So that's been probably my favorite. Honorable mentions to World of Warcraft as well, and to the game Glover. Y'all ever hear the game Glover?
No.
It was an N64 game. You play as a magic glove that comes off the hand of a wizard, and you're trying to find all the crystals to bring back the wizard. And it's one of the weirdest frickin' games I've ever played in my life, and it sticks in my brain. So much so that when you said like your favorite thing, it was the first thing that came into my mind.
That sounds awesome.
Glover, I'm haunted by Glover. It's just a white glove with eyes that walks around that has vaguely magic powers. It's weird. Least favorite. I'll give it again to a 2 for where is it? There it is. I had to look up the name. AKA MANTO. Akamanto. It's a game by people called Chilla's Arts, who make these indie horror games that are amazing. Every other single one I've played is amazing. Very low res, very low budget, but like the story and the environment are always amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, it was one of their early ones. So scary, so shitty too. Like the way that they jump scare you, and it's just it put me off scary games for like a month. I didn't play any scary games after Akamanto for a month. And so I was like, I can't do it. I was on edge the whole time. So I would say that one for sure. And honorable mention to the time that I covered myself in cheap white clown paint and did a cosplay stream. And something that was very, very cheap. I think it might have just been acrylic that they cut with something, because it sent me into this like a weird shock thing. That felt so bad for the day after, and I was picking white paint out of my pores for the longest time. So that also honorable mention is bad, where I'm like, I definitely gotta up the price scale for my next cosplay stream. Ain't gonna do that to myself.
I feel
I actually have a makeup brand that I was looking at that I think would be really good for your cosplay that I'll send you a link for.
Yes, please. Anything that doesn't put me shaking on the bathroom floor again, covered in white paint.
Yeah,
It's like,
no.
This is how the ambulance is going to find me. This is how they'll put me in the obituary. Oh, no. They won't remember me for the Twitch thing. They'll just remember me for this.
Ugh. Yeah, no. I'm going to banish whatever did that to you. Shadow World.
Oh, it got thrown out. There was a little bit left in the tube, and I chucked it in the outside trash.
Speaking of which, Ryan, like, how do you feel about the fact that you have a large following of straight men that are now in love with you in your stream? How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, that's just been my life all my time. No.
My husband's included in that, okay? Just saying.
I just adore every single one of them. I've never found this many straight guys. More often than not, I mean, I've called most of them breeders before to their faces, and they love it. But more often than not, back in the day, that was a term of not hate, but it was a term of disdain slightly. But it's become a term of endearment now for me because of these men. I keep finding all these men in my life that just keep reminding me, oh, there are some good ones. I tell you, I've never really resonated with straight men. But another thing that Twitch is reminding me is that there's a million people out there that I haven't met, and that I keep getting to meet these new people. And so I keep meeting all these straight guys that I'm like, cool, I like this one.
And they would all go to war for you.
Yep.
Every single one of them would literally fight tooth and nail for you.
And I would just sit there, and I would pat their head as they walk by to die for me, and it would be lovely. Die for me. Die for me.
Yeah, and they would. Because like literally last night, of course, you know, I was talking to Fate, and I'm just like, well, one of the questions is this, and he's just like, good. Yeah, it should be. 100%. And I'm like, you would die for him. He's like, I would die for him before I'd die for you. And I'm like, absolutely. Damn right.
And it was one of those times where, like, with a lot of all of y'all, it was like that first time talking. Some of y'all I got to know, it got to become friends and all that jazz. But some of y'all, a select few, it was like the very first time you said a word to me, and Fate was one of them. Fate was one of those ones where it's like, I remember the first word they said it, I think it was in my chat. But I just remember it was like that first where I was like, and we're gonna be buddies.
I think I remember the first time he popped into your chat and he was just like, I really like Ryan a lot. And I'm like, I told you, dickhead.
Yeah, I'm right.
And he's just like, and so of course, every time we would be up here playing games, I just peek up, it's your stream. Every time. He doesn't talk that much. But when he does talk, of course, he's active. But your stream is up every time.
I don't want to be the person that calls out the lurkers. I never will, because that's a big thing with the Purple House. I'm like, I want you to come and be comfortable for 3 hours every night. By the way, anybody new, every night, all the time, forever. The tooth is better now. But that was always like my thing, right? But I'll say, I look at that list. I don't take attendance. I look at that list, and I've seen that extra paid fate there once or twice or a couple of, I see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say I don't take attendance. I wouldn't know how to start.
Since you're holding the tassel, the next question is perfect. Can you tell us more about your theater and performing background, and how do you feel it has impacted some of the elements of your stream?
Oh, there's a massive list. I wish I could write that out one of these days of all the teachers and like programs and things that I've been a part of that I can accredit my personality, both on and off stage or camera. That a lot of it has to do with the theater I was brought up in. I did musicals all my life, which is a big part of why I do what I do. I would say that would be the focus. If I had to pick one for sure, that is a contributing factor, would be the musicals. Like I've done a little bit of everything, a little bit of all of it, but musicals for sure. Oh, and whenever I would do these haunted hayrides, that was a big part of like my improv skills and like dealing with that, like, and Dungeons and Dragons too, for improv. But I would say like all the little improv-y things I did growing up, along with the musicals for sure, that would be, I would say, the biggest contributing factors to the Big Purple House's current theatricality. Definitely musicals though. If I had to pick one, for sure the musicals. Where I don't think there's been a stream yet, especially since I got copyrighted music on the stream magically. Figured that out. Once I got that going and I was able to lip sync with all my fury with the old classics. That's how you know. That's how you know. I mean, I did Little Shop of Horrors lip sync just the other day. Suddenly Seymour. Actually, I sang that one. I think I lip synced another one. Oh, the opening song. I lip synced the opening song. I always sing Suddenly Seymour. Oh, you gotta sing that one. And I always sing Audrey's part because that's the better part.
Because that is.
Because it is. I've gotten to play her twice, both in cabarets. So it wasn't like the full versions of them. It was just like the songs. But I've gotten to be her twice. And both times were amazing because Audrey's parts in Little Shop of Horrors are my favorite in any musical ever, forever. Audrey. Somewhere that's green.
I love it so much. I grew up friends with all the theater kids, and I didn't do theater or drama. I did do drama class, but that was just because like I can memorize a monologue and perform a monologue, but I couldn't act a whole thing to save my life.
I had a lot of friends like you that were just like on the outskirts of it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and just cheering everybody on. Right?
You were always the first to buy tickets. We loved you.
Right? That was me. And then I just loved it so much. It's so good. I love theater. Where are we? Oh, here we are. What inspired your tagline? Don't hurt each other, don't hurt yourself, and keep yourself protected.
I would say the sort of the rhyming scheme of it all got brought about by the streamer Granny, who was one of my favorite streamers watching before I started. I was really only watching Critical Role, Julian Solomita, Chris Melberger, and this New Zealander granny streamer who would do like scary games every now. Her name was Granny, and she always ended her streams with you got to ask yourself, is it because of me? Is it because of others? Or is it because? And I was like, that mantra for the longest time really just sat well with me, and I realized, okay, it's like the threes. Threes feel very comfortable to me.
Yes.
So I'm like, all right, it's got to be something in a three. I was like, all right, well, don't hurt each other. Huh, huh, bop, bop. Can you see that? No, you can't.
Squat down. Squat down.
There it is.
There you go.
Uh,
Don't hurt each other.
Don't hurt each other. I had that on me for the longest time. Don't hurt each other. And, oh. Come on. There it is. That's why I keep all my books next to me for focusing. I thought, don't hurt each other has been my mantra for the longest time. Try your best. Don't hurt each other. Sometimes it happens by accident. Sometimes you have to hurt each other, tell each other stuff. Don't do it on purpose when you can. That was always my biggest mantra. And then after a while, I started to really get, that kind of person that doesn't really focus on themselves. It was all about each other, others. I kept focusing on the other part, and it started to really wear on me, especially around COVID time. I was working 75 to 80 hours a week and just not focusing on myself at all. And so someone was like, you really need to stop hurting yourself. And that really stuck with me. It was around COVID time that I was like, yeah, we have to stop hurting ourselves. We are hurting ourselves. And that was something I pushed towards. I was working in online shopping during COVID, which, as you can assume, was a little bit insane.
Yep.
Things got a little bit crazy in the online grocery department. Don't know why, but it was something I really pushed towards everyone. I was writing on everyone's thing, like, don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Whatever you do, make sure you do not hurt yourself today. So I was pushing that. And after a while, I was saying that actually for the first month or two of streams was don't hurt each other and don't hurt yourself. That was all I was saying was don't hurt each other, don't hurt yourself. And after a while, I started to realize that, damn, sometimes despite, everyone's listening to Nana Ryan, sometimes people are out there hurting people, and you have to take steps to stop that sometimes. And so I added the keep yourself protected, because sometimes you have to do things to keep yourself protected, like cutting things out, putting things up, boundaries, things like that. Sometimes you need to do that. So keeping yourself protected is also a part of, not hurting yourself, because sometimes, unfortunately, people don't listen to the first rule. They do hurt each other. So you need to put things up, cut people out, unfortunately, talk to people, do the things you need to do to keep yourself protected.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how that kind of built up. It started as don't hurt each other. Got it on my back. Got that a few days after I was hit by a car, ironically. I had the appointment before.
I saw that! You had a picture where your head was in a fucking thing, and I'm just like, what the hell?
It was a few days after I got hit by a car from a crosswalk from stop. This poor woman got out of the car, and when I woke up, I was making a sound. Discord probably won't like it, but I was making that noise. So I just remember waking up and seeing this woman just. She thought I'd been murdered. She thought she was going to jail. This poor old woman. I can't remember her name right now, but she was very sweet. She sent me soup. But I got it a few days after that. I had the appointment before. I waltzed in just all bandaged up. They're like, "You sure you wanna?" And I just look him dead in the eyes and I go, "I don't know about tomorrow. Tomorrow's not sure. Do it now." Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, it was wild.
Ryan,
the only thing I got in that whole thing was a broken toe. Go figure.
Ryan, can you tell us a little more about PEI and how Anne of Green Gables has impacted your life growing up there? First, tell us what PEI stands for.
What a can of worms to ask an Islander. I am from a wonderful place, East Coast Canada, called Prince Edward Island. It's the birthplace of Confederation. A bunch of founding fathers came and got drunk and talked about maybe making Canada, maybe. So that's something that PEI latched onto. If you ever hear it called the birthplace of a Confederation, they're lying to you. They got drunk here. But it's a beautiful little vacation place. It's the two main exports are potatoes and tourism. So you can imagine that tourism is a big part of the island. Red sand, beautiful beaches. It's really quite gorgeous. Living there can be a little stifling. However, it's very, small town, suburban, farmy area the whole way around. Everyone knows your business because you're all on the island together, blah, blah, blah. But the big tourism draw for Prince Edward Island is Anne of Green Gables. Y'all might have heard about that. It's a book, it's a TV series, it's an anime in Japan because the Asian community absolutely gobbles it up. As you can probably assume, the gist of the story is a little orphan girl is adopted by a family who wanted a boy, asked for a boy, called for a boy, but got a girl, got Anne, and deals with it, and everyone's dealing with her, right? And a lot of Asian communities, that's kind of how the birth of a little girl goes, right? Like a lot of people are like, oh, I wanted a boy, but okay. So a lot of Asian communities really resonate with this story. And so Anne of Green Gables is this like huge phenomena that everybody loves. I can't stand the woman. I cannot stand the woman. She, especially young Anne, she kind of evens out a little bit in her older age, but especially early on, she breaks a chalkboard over a guy's head just for saying something cockeyed to her. Like, no, that is escalation beyond what needs to be done. She gets her friend drunk the day before an important event, even though her friend's like, I don't want to do it, and Anne's just like, you'd be a dummy if you didn't. I'm like, she's an instigator. She's hateful. I call Anne of Green Gables the story of the redheaded woman who yells at people. Everyone loves the story. I appreciate it for keeping my home afloat, but I find her insufferable. There's a musical called Anne and Gilbert, which is wonderful because it really focuses on Gilbert, who I think is a lovely young man, who really helps even out Anne's anger problems. She's just so hateful. I mean, she's had a hard life, sure, but good God, so many times she's offered tea that she should take that cup of tea.
Can I just say I empathize? Because, being from Washington State, Twilight craze.
Shit, right.
I've never.
I was like, were you there? Were you there in the forest where they were?
Have you been there? You grew up there, right? No, not there.
I haven't seen any sparkly man in the woods.
There. No. God damn it. Yeah.
Amazing. It's so true, though. If there's that one thing that people connect to, they will ask you that every time. Oh, it's funny. Oh, it's so funny. And I will say a quick aside that I worked in a little museum, and little Asian, adorable couple, they must have been in their 70s. They were moving so slowly. They shamble up to me and they say, "Where is Anne's grave?" And I go, "Oh, well, Lucy Maud, the author, her grave is," and she stops me. I remember the woman moved her hand with such swiftness that I was like, she's going to hit me. She was like hunched over still, and I was like, she's going to jump up and hit me. She goes, we want Anne's grave. And for like a solid 30 seconds, I stared at this couple who stared at me. And I had to explain to them that Anne of Green Gables was not buried anywhere because she was not real. And then the couple, both man and woman, began to cry. And I had to explain to them that I'm so sorry, but they don't exist, so they don't have a place that you can go to where Lucy Maud is. This is her where she's at, and they're just crying the whole time. And all she says, this little Asian woman, "This is why we came here, and they walked away.
Oh my god!
It was one of the most like traumatic moments of my life, and it was because of Anne of Green Gables.
That's a great story. Thank you for sharing that.
I still remember them walking away being like, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. I've done everything I can do. I've done everything and then some. I've ruined their lives.
Oh my goodness.
Harsh reality check. They're like, oh yeah, it's for sure based on a person. Which who knows, maybe it was. I didn't care enough to look into it that much. But maybe I should have. Maybe I should have been like, well, the person that it's based off of is buried in Washington State.
Go ahead there. Her name's Bella Swan. She lives out in Forks. Her
Bitten to
grave
death.
is unmarked. And it might be sparkly, and it is definitely in the shade, but it's fine.
It's fine.
Ryan, who is the inspiration for your braid hairstyle that you wear sometimes?
Spinelli from Recess.
Not
Recess
Anne of the
School's
Green
out?
Gables?
No. Probably subconsciously, truth be told, because I had to wear those damn. They would sell them on the island. These hats that Anne's really known for wearing, with the red pigtails sewn into them. They sell them everywhere on the island. It's hilarious. And I used to have to wear them like anytime anyone would come to the island, be like, "We're all gonna go to put on the hat," and there's so many pictures of me just standing there, just. So I'm sure subconsciously I was just like, I know this.
This seems familiar to me.
I know this style. I think, but definitely consciously, like when I was doing it in the mirror the first time, it was for sleeping. I didn't like ever wear it. It was just supposed to be for like keeping sweaty neck from being a thing. But I remember looking in the mirror the first time I was doing it, and I was just like, Ashley Spinelli. Is that you? It's Ashley Spinelli. Because I'm always wearing the hat too, right? So I immediately put the hat on. I was just like, oh my God. I'm like looking for a leather jacket. Who am I? I don't have a leather jacket.
No?
Ryan?
A black leather jacket? That's too hard for me. I don't know.
Ryan, where
But
did
like
you come
a
up
red
with
one, though? Sorry.
Ooh,
Right.
That'd be nice.
Ryan, where did you come up with the idea to read children's books with the story time portion of your show?
That is another, I would say, a point to do what you do best. And I did story time all my life. I worked with kids. I've been working with kids since I was a kid, I used to say. So I was always reading to kids. I worked at a Bible camp. I call this the scars of my past life. Anyone who's seen these flashing on Twitch being like, I might be in the wrong stream. But then they hear the words coming out of my mouth and then they get real confused. It's one of my favorite things. So like, you know, I was reading Bible stories. I was a pastor for 3 years. A big thing that I would do was just be reading the stories out loud and trying my best to making it personable, making it something I can connect to. And so, like, whenever I started to think of ways to sign off, I was like, well, you know, I could do a song. I could do I play instruments. I could do like a little song. Then I really started to think like, well, what did I do at Bible camp? I would usually end the night off with reading a story. It was either a Bible story or another story. And so like, well, let's give it a shot. We'll give it a shot. So on my second stream, that would have been 217 streams ago. I was like, let's just try it. And then the next one, and the next one. And then I started reading them online because I only had like 4 in my house at the time. And so I was like, I'll read them online. And found a whole bunch of them online. Went home for Christmas and like just got a whole. This is only a small stack of them. Just got a whole bunch of like actual ones. It's like I'm gonna keep doing this because I've been reading books, and I actually used to do a book reading club, I want to call it. It was something where we would go around to different schools and we would read out loud to kids. And I was doing that when I was 10, 11. So I've been reading books out loud since I was a kid. And it felt like something that, again, I was like, well, what am I able to do? What am I able to bring to the table? What niche can I fill on Twitch that hasn't been filled yet that I would feel comfortable filling and not like I'm forcing it? And that was one that just came to my head. And it's been 200 and some odd streams of finishing off. There was one time I forgot. One time. I'm going to blame it on the weed. One time I forgot where I gotta find that. I'm pretty sure the VOD's still up. I know that the clip is somewhere of me the next stream being like, guys, I'm so sorry.
I don't know what happened.
Straight out, I was like, all right, guys, it's time to end. We're raiding out on this person. Bye. I ended that way. I realized about 5 streams in, that I started ending every time on bye. Did Discord even pick that up? Bye.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So now that's a conscious thing. So you'll always hear that at the end as well. But yeah, the storybooks has been a thing all my life, and I think again, it's very much lending into do what you do best. Worry less about how it's going to fit into the niche on Twitch. Like, who hasn't done this before? Has it been done? Am I doing it worse? Am I doing it different? Blah, blah, blah. Just do what you do best, and chances are it's going to fit into how you're doing things anyway. And that whole piece is going to be what's going to fit into the niche. A little less about, like, is every little piece of me going to fit into the Twitch niche? Like, don't worry about that. Worry about if it fits into your holes before it fits into other people's holes, okay?
Yeah. Damn right.
That's I think that would be where it really came from. Yeah, I've been doing it since, again, I can't remember what the club was called, but we would meet together, we would read storybooks together, and then like once a month we would go to like other schools and read to younger kids. I was doing that when I was like 10. So I've been doing this version of something for a while.
I love that so much.
Mhm.
Isn't that funny?
Ryan, what's the weirdest sleeping dream you've ever had that you're willing to talk about?
Ooh. See, again, I'm not the best at remembering most things, and dreams does not escape that. However, I would say like there was like a reoccurring thing for the longest time where I would dream about the guys that I was talking to on Grindr. Just I go on a date every once, maybe 2 months, right? I'm not the most out there socially in terms of romance, but yeah, every now and again, every week or so, I'll jump on the old Grindr and have a quick little flirt session. Then I'll be usually fine. But for the longest time there, a couple of months ago, maybe a year ago, they haven't happened for a while. I was dreaming about these guys like being outside my house every time. Like, and it would be classic, like Norman Bates style horror where I would open the curtain and they would just be like there with like a red balloon or some shit. And just, so I didn't go on a date for like 2 years because I kept dreaming about these men haunting and wanting to, and like stalking me. And so there were so many of my relationships that could have been probably wonderful. I'll never know because my dream was like, no, they're going to kill you.
They're going to murder you.
They're going to get you. So it was like clockwork sometimes where I'd be like, this guy's kind of nice and he's kind of cute. Like we talked all night. It was kind of nice. Like maybe I should. That night it would be that guy just outside, just like petting a white cat. Just la, 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 la. And I'm like, I'd wake up the next morning being like, okay, you can't let it affect you. You can't let it affect you. He would message me and I'd just be like, I don't really feel it anymore.
Can't do it.
That's wild. Thank you for sharing that creepy dream.
Yeah, I was like, I remember when I told I'm in therapy right now, which everyone should be. I think it should be illegal not to be. Oh, price points and time, etc. Everyone should try to be at some point in their life.
Agreed.
But I remember telling her that, and she just goes, "Wow, that's You're what most people would call self-sabotaging, but you've taken it an extra step." I'm like, I know. I have whole theatrical performances in my dreams to get me out of these relationships before they even start.
That's funny.
Therapist is like, that's special. You're creative. I'm like, you're saying it's so nice to me right now, and I love you for it.
You're creative.
She's so good at that. She's so good at that. I can hear her brain like fizzing and burning, and she's like, creative. I'm like, you wanted to say crazy. She's like, professional.
Yeah.
So, Ryan, we're here to the last two questions of our regular interview before we open the floor to folks in chat. And I see that Druid's already been culling the questions that people have come up with. But our last two questions start with this one. If you could be any superhero, which one would you choose and why?
Oh, that's a good one. I've never been much of a Marvel. I like the movies, and I did back when I was younger. I just liked going to the theaters. But I've never been much of a Marvel or a DC. However, when My Hero Academia came out, which is a great anime if anyone is into the superhero thing and is looking for like an anime to get into, if you like superhero shit, My Hero Academia, so good.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I gotta say, like the fire and ice Todoroki, I really like that idea. So if I could do something like that, even if I could just have like the steam, I feel like that would be also very useful. It's just like the both together. But if I could choose, it would be Todoroki from My Hero Academia. If I could, Ice Wall and then Fireball. Are you kidding me? I'd be a mage from D&D.
That's a great choice and a nice unusual surprise, which also is not surprising that you would pick that.
Thank you. Because a lot of my favorite superheroes, I like, like Suicide Squad type heroes. Like a redeemed Harley Quinn would truthfully be, if I had to pick my favorite to be though, I'm like, I want to be powerful and cool and stuff. I want to shoot through the air. But if I had to pick like my favorite superhero, like a redeemed Harley Quinn in like Suicide Squad, even, slightly not redeemed, on her way to being redeemed, even that, I'm just like, oh, I love them. Nom, 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 nom. I love that shit.
I love a good redemption arc so much.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last question. This is one of those either ors. One, it disappears if you pick it or pick the other one, or
Right.
whatever.
Yep.
It's always food related.
Oh.
Okay. I don't know what either one of these things are, but anyways, blueberry grunt or beaver tails. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
They're Canadian for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you even know?
Blueberry grunt. That does sound so familiar.
I have to look it up because I
thought I was picking stuff that would be like obvious to you, but apparently not. Maybe it's because of where he grew up or whatever.
Nova Scotia pie. I know that. See, I was like, I know I'm going to know it by a different name because PEI is weird.
Ah.
Nova Scotia pie.
So blueberry grunt is Nova Scotia pie?
Probably just to like my family. But I was like, do I know this? I'm like, that sounds so familiar. I bet my aunts called it a blueberry grunt, but I know it is Nova Scotia pie because it was always made with Nova Scotia blueberries. So they were always the sweetest. So if you knew you were having a good pie, if you had a good Nova Scotia blueberry pie. But yeah, it was, oh my God, are they ever good? And a beaver tail is, oh, damn. Shit. I gotta get rid of the blueberry grunt, the Nova Scotia pie.
Really? You'd pick the beaver tails over the blueberry grunt?
If I can, as long as I can still have a blueberry pie, like as long as I can still have a classic all good blueberry pie or like a blueberry hand pie from PEI, a PEI blueberry hand pie. Ugh, don't get me started on those. Oh my God. As long as I can still have those, all right, we're all good. If this is get rid of all blueberry confection like pie filling desserts, then oh my God, no, if you cut me now, I'd probably bleed blueberry filling. But if I had to get rid of that, I get rid of the grunt just because, like, again, it's not my most favorite vessel for blueberry. It's
Sure,
just a
sure.
classic blueberry pie. But damn, are they ever good?
What
Oh
is
my God.
what is a beaver tail?
A beaver tail is pretty much just like a flat cake dough, deep fried, I'm pretty sure, on both sides, in like really thin oil. Just like flip, you fry it on both sides, and then you're just loading it with shit. It's mostly just a fried donut that you customize yourself.
A giant
like,
flat fried donut?
yeah, it's just a big spoon that you load up with carbs and sugar, and that's all it is. So like, usually you would have like your favorite. Like I love a blueberry filling on top. I love those blueberry and chocolate on top. Oh, but my favorite's got to be the strawberry banana. They do a strawberry banana that will blow your socks off.
Canadian non. Listen.
Mm-hmm.
It's Canadian non. 100%.
I was gonna say Canadian fry bread, but
it's just Canadian non.
Yeah, amazing.
So
BT, I love you.
Everyone, this is where we open up to the floor to you guys, and we see that you've already started off with some great questions. But before we do that, make sure you go to the links that Drew had shared and support this beautiful, wonderful soul. Like, he's exactly the kind of people that we like to lift up on Bandwidth and Banter, and he's exactly the kind of people that the world needs more of. So please support him.
Well, like, to flip that on y'all, can I just say a quick aside and say that I've been looking forward to this 4 months. I had a 4 infections under 2 teeth over the last week, and literally one of the only things I unfortunately had to miss D&D yesterday. It was 2 things I was looking forward to. I got to make one of them. I've been looking forward to this 4 months because I've watched y'all do these interviews, and not only is it just exciting to talk about something I'm so excited about, but y'all do it with such like respect. Y'all do it with so much obvious research. Like, it's so obvious that y'all do your homework and y'all care about this. You care about the people. So like, thank y'all. Seriously, I cannot even begin to explain how excited and happy and how cool this is for me.
Thank you, brother. That means a lot. So Mama Bear asks, Ryan, one thing NBCD notices is the go, no, or oh you randomly throw in sing-song style while gaming. Is there a reason behind that at all?
Definitely the ADHD. I've got the little ticks and quicks. Some of them that you would notice, no, let's go is one for sure. Let's go. It's really funny when I'm editing. Nope. Here we go. Let's go. Boop. Whenever if y'all ever take a walk with me IRL, you'll notice when I open doors, it's usually boop. Little boop. So that's been a big thing. Little things that get stuck in my brain. Very, very. One of the biggest things telling of ADHD, and so like that's definitely been a big thing. Yeah. Where it's just they stick with you. You put those sounds to specific processes, and then they're there forever. So like, there's a few. Like I know. I boop when I do that. Oh, whenever I squish out a sponge, I say boop as well because I was a dishwasher for the longest time, and people noticed and they were annoyed. Just boop every time. It would just be like just boop, boop. So my brain connects certain sounds to certain processes, and it just they hold on to them. So I'm sure there's a lot of a lot of stream things that are connected to that as well. I'm sure like World of Warcraft, Minecraft, things I do there. I bet when I place blocks, certain kinds, I bet there's already a few that I've connected sounds that I say to.
Yeah.
NBCD, non-binary cat dad. Yes, that is a nickname I gave. Immediately, I saw non-binary cat dad, and I was just like, NBCD. It's fun to say. NBCD.
Yeah. NBCD. I have a couple. I do, but I do like a lot of like nonsensical like. like tongue roll, kind of echolalia kind of sounds.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes,
Pigeon
I have a few of
noises.
those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Walking by someone, I always got to do the like the finger gun sound. I've
Chow,
stopped doing the finger guns. I've managed to stop doing that, but just because I was starting to look like a character from like a '90s game show, like a kids '90s game show. It was like I walked by people just like, It was like I got to stop with that part at least. So now it's just like a wink and a little click click.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to do that. Love a good finger gun. It's like it was just really making me look like a caricature. So and I would do it like that. It would always be that. So I'm like, now I only do it when I'm really feeling squirrely.
Jenna K asks for Ryan. Matt wants to know how you got so handsome.
One of the most talented and incredible people ever, too, Matt. Dead Wrong is one of the coolest bands. It's got me back into pop punk. How I get so handsome? My mama did it. You should know, you handsome motherfucker. I love that man. Adorable couple, I tell you. Go from my slasher queen, one of my fellow bit queen. Me and Jenna are gonna get murdered in a slasher, but we're not gonna go first. We're gonna have a scene first where we get sexy beach outfits and stuff. And so like, we get that. We get killed like third, maybe fourth. We want to have at least a few scenes where we get to show the goods,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Totally.
So another question from Jenna K. Are there any fun little Easter eggs you love in your stream setup background?
I could go on for hours.
Pick one of your favorites, one of your top 3.
I could definitely say this. If you can kind of see that a little bit. Can you kind of see that? Oh. There we go. This quilt.
Ooh.
It goes all the way out and back, but I have it just kind of like in the background right now. This was made by my nana way back in the day, and has been passed around more than a vulgar joke. It's been everyone in my family seems to have owned it at one point, because anytime I post a picture with it, I wear it to pride parades and stuff. It's all rainbowy and patchworky, so it makes you look like a patchwork rainbow. It's cute. But,
I've seen pictures.
Yay! Thank you. I love it, and every time I post a picture of it, somebody is always like, "That was in my baby's room," or "This was in that word." So I would say that's probably my favorite. Has been this like communal family blanket that's just it has seen some things. It's definitely I'm its last owner for sure. Like I am for sure its final resting place. Oh yeah, I was like, does it go back? Did I hang it all the way back? Yeah, you can kind of see it behind the paintings. But I was like, there's no way this thing is going to last another Pride or another walkabout. So I'm going to hang it up out behind in my street. This is its retirement. This is its last big hurrah. It gets to be on TV. Look at you, honey. You finally made it.
I love it. I love all the little trinkets and stuff. The fun variety you have back there. It's just so cozy.
It's always
I
changing.
agree.
Always keep an eye out. There's always things adding and switching and moving around. I added this rainbow pinwheel just a few days ago.
I just love it because it suits your nature. It suits the show. It's like colorful and vibrant and full of life and energy. And I don't know, it's awesome.
I wanted to go for like a Pee-wee's Playhouse kind of thing,
awesome.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
I was definitely Pee-wee's Playhouse, like just the idea of something always changing, but it not really being like, I don't want to say not important, because everything is, but it's just something inconsequential, just that's always kind of shifting and moving. That, and it also really helps the old ADHD get calm and focused and happy. If I'm like every day before I stream, I'm like, and you go over here, and you go over here, and you're here, and now it's perfect.
It's that nesting. I get it. I have
Exactly.
I don't know most. Oh,
Exactly.
Just a collection of random things. Then just like, you all have homes here.
Oh, but instead, like, I got this when I was like 15. It's a little Max from Where the Wild Things Are. I love them. Just little shit like that. I love piling it together and making it work. I got this one from a McDonald's meal. Come back. There we go. Boop. Whatever little things, and I'm just like, and you are going. I literally will pick it up like out in the wild, look at it, and be like, and that's going in the background.
I love that. It just ends up.
Feeling.
For me, it just ends up in my possession, and I'm like, I don't know where you came from. Here you are.
I think I said it a long time ago that you and I are magpies for sure. That we're just like every now and again
Shiny.
we just see the glint and we're just ours,
Mine.
mine, ours, home,
Mine.
take.
Yes. Is it cool? Yes.
Is it cool? Doesn't matter. Mine now. We'll make it cool.
I like. Here. Oh, you have a friend at home. They wanted to hang out with you. Come on, let's go.
I'll find the thing and be like, oh, I have the matching of this. It's nowhere close to matching, but I'm like, but they match in my soul. So, you know,
Spiritually.
I'm taking it.
Yep, 100%. Yeah. My husband hates
Oh my
it sometimes.
We're more shockingly alike every day.
My husband, the reason why this isn't more is because I do share. You should see the difference in our desks. Actually, I will do
really bare of stuff.
Okay, there's like an underneath little desk like area. His has, I could count like 10 things, right? I cannot even begin to explain to you what's under my desk right now. Okay?
Oh, I can't count mine on 2 hands. That's for sure. Shit.
So yeah, it's
one more question
fantastic.
from Alex there, Druid.
Yes. Alex asks, when are you gonna play that game? And then SCP -087B.
Now that has been one I have been looking into, Alex, for sure. Getting that one. I know that one has been what you wanted me to play that one for a while. It's because it's got like a few of those things that I know is going to scare the hell out of me. Which one is a face jumping out of nowhere, which I know is a big part of that game. And so like I know that I'm going to be screaming loud. So I just got to get myself, you know, emotionally, spiritually, physically prepared for that one.
Yeah. I still think you would really like the journey of Senua's Sacrifice.
Yes, that's literally on like physically on my list. I can see it.
You know, so it's just one of those things. Like I feel like that's a good, easier way back into scary games.
Very
but it's
true.
more of that psychological.
I'm pretty sure because I was for the longest time I was doing Sunday scaries, and I was like, you know what? I think because I also work all weekend, I want to have a nice amount of time to do it. I might just switch it off to like a Tuesday, Wednesday thing. Once I find that out, I'm like, it's either it's going to be Senua's or it's going to be FNAF. I might do Five Nights at Freddy's. That might be more of a classic screaming. It's going to involve me screaming a lot more, I think. But I'm like, I think Senua's would be more of it's like scary story, that's how Scary Sunday started. It's scary, but with a story. Scary, but with environment.
I will live and die by that game. It is so good. It is my absolute just bread. It's so good.
I had to stop watching because I was like, this is so good, and I'm for sure playing this, and I don't want to have this ruined. I've never done that with, I don't think, any game. I've had a lot of other times I've watched someone play a game and be like, I'm going to play this for sure, but I'm going to keep watching this because, A, I'll probably forget or whatever. Like, no, this is so crazy and amazing. And I'm like, I'm going to remember everything that happens.
Yeah, so you were watching me play Senua Saga, which is the second one. The first one.
Yes.
Oh,
my
so good.
God.
Anyways, sorry.
I'm for sure going to be picking that one up.
Right.
Yeah, that one might be the first two.
Is it my turn? We got to start looking for the last couple of questions. If you have any for us, by the way, Ryan, feel free to throw them in there. Before you do that, though, Lord Alex asks, Ryan, if there's one cartoon character you think you are spiritually, what would it be?
Probably be a mix between Ralph Wiggum from The Simpsons and Roger the Alien from American Dad. I'd be this like painfully naive, but like slightly aware enough to like fake his way through a conversation out in the real world.
Out in the space.
Ambiguously gay, where you're just like, are they gay or are they just like a rainbow wrapped in skin? What the hell are they? It's just that kind of situation, I think. So a little bit of Ralph Wiggum, a little bit of Roger the Alien.
I love that.
A little bit of both. It's very much like the raccoon told me to burn things, and then I'm over here like, and I'm gonna like naive, but make it gay.
Oh, Mr. Hildebrand. No, I have one because I'm curious. Ryan and Druid, what was your actual reaction when I messaged you on Elvin's birthday?
Was beside myself with happiness. I've worked with kids all my life, and like I've done a lot of working with like special needs, and so growing up until like from the ages of 10 to maybe 26, 27, so up to like just a few years ago before COVID, I was working with kids, usually one-on-one, and so I would usually have like one or two, sometimes three kids that were my kids. And so like not having kids in my life that are my kids, that I can kind of throw that love to has been weird. So having some of the like I've gotten to meet some of the other friends through streaming, not meet their kids, but I've gotten to like hear them in the background once and go like hi, I'm like hi and stuff like that. So like getting to have the those interactions again has been very special. Getting to know and getting to become friends with a little one again, as beautiful and as incredible as Elvin, has been so special and so incredibly like needed. Not, I'm sure that y'all love the cute little birthday message I sent. La dee 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 dee. Didn't matter at the end of the day because my God, the feeling it made me feel.
So,
I'm sure he liked it, but I was just it filled my heart more than you'll ever know.
Yeah. So this is another thing that makes Ryan and I uncomfortably similar, is in a really great way. Is I also spent a lot of time, like I grew up babysitting. I was always my brother's advocate because my brother's autistic. So I've spent we're 17 months apart. I spent my entire life being my brother's advocate. And I've spent I started babysitting other kids with special needs growing up. Like people were trying to I helped my Nana set up her classrooms like when she was teaching like 3rd and 5th grade. Like I'm the cool aunt. Like I was the adult at the pool party that was like hanging out with the kids and letting the adults be adults. Because I'm like,
Yep.
You guys are boring. We're gonna go play with Orbeez, and I'm gonna try to teach these kids not to shoot water into their mouths from a pool I know they all peed in. Like this is
That's
not
why you
happening.
got invited to every cookout and every barbecue, every single one, because you were the free babysitter.
I was, and I would have the greatest time because I would have a kid on my hip, a kid on my leg, just hanging out, having a great time. I would pick them up and rub them in dirt. I've always loved like just the energy that kids bring out in me. Like I love it so much. It's just like it was also I woke up to this message, rolled out of bed, and sent that message to Elvin. It was precious, and I loved it, and it meant the world to me. So it was so cool. It was so cool to be able to do that.
That made me so happy.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's actually a perfect thing to wrap up on, unless Ryan has any questions for Druid and I before we go today.
Oh my goodness. Well, I could pick y'all's brains for hours about how y'all do the way y'all do, and just how you make it seem just so effortless to be this open all the time. It just and the way y'all deal with everything that y'all deal with, like I just
We've been doing this for it's years. We've been doing this for years. This is my like, third year on Twitch. Like Stormy 3.5. You know, like we've been doing this a while, so it comes with practice.
I there's so many things that y'all do that I'm just I blatantly steal. Thank you for being not only folks that are trailblazers in what y'all do, like interview shows. This is not something that everybody does. I wish more people did. We all about the homie uplifting. I love it. But not only are y'all trailblazing in that aspect. Hello. Y'all are also just beyond trailblazing the how you are as people. Like y'all are acting in ways that not everybody acts like, and I wish they would. The way that y'all are staunch believers in the, you know, one person he's going up, we all got to uplift them. We can't be, you know, catty and shitty and pissy about it. We can't be, you know, ripping people down to make ourselves feel better. We got to be uplifting each other. And so y'all are just so you're creating a very specific atmosphere on this website, and I don't think I would be here right now if y'all didn't do the groundwork for this place. So thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
It means a lot. And everything that you just said about us applies to him in his stream, guys. So now that we do have to wrap and sign up for the day, but it makes me sad because I could just chat with you for hours, my friend. And it's been such an honor and a treat to have you on the show. I adore you.
I feel like I've it might sound silly, it might sound a little trumpeting my own trumpet, but I once I got on here, I was like, oh, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I did Bandwidth and Banter. I'm on my way. I'm doing something good.
I take that as a very sweet compliment. Thank you.
It's
like getting in the newspaper back in the day, right? Like I'm gonna have clips of this and I'm gonna like print it off and show it to people at work. Be like, look, I was in a news interview.
We could easily be here for hours and hours of talk.
Yep.
Easily. So easily.
All right. Well, guys, go support Ryan. Give him all your biddies, all your subs. If you haven't followed him already, you're crazy. Please do. Please follow him. And
absolutely.
There's the links right there.
Catch me for the 14-hour stream is going to be happening on the 13th. I had to push that ahead because of the my teeth trying to explode out of my face. So
the Tuesday.
On the 13th. It'll be on a Tuesday.
Wait, that's
on the 13th there.
The 13th
I know
of this
exactly
month?
who I'll be rating into. Yep.
Yeah, baby. 14 hours.
Hey, Drew.
Starting at.
Do you think that it's possible for us to quickly throw together a a thing next week?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's plan on it. Get together Tuesday after your stream and work hard to knock out another episode of.
We got it.
What's the name of it again?
Stormkeep Cry?
Thank you. The Stormkeep Cry, yeah. So we can add his event to it. And my birthday stream is next Friday. And then other folks. Jotun has something coming up, and there's some other birthday streams. So like Bubba, I think, is doing a birthday stream. So definitely lots of folks. We'll figure out something, guys. Or Ryan, thank you. We'll stay in line and we'll get chat with you in a little bit.
Absolutely. Thank you to everybody in chat. I love you, beautiful people. You can expect me back in the Purple House tomorrow.
Let's go.
We can't wait to see you.
Back home, baby. I'm coming out.
Wow. Drew, take it away. My cough is keeping me from this. So.
Yep. All right, guys. I love Ryan. I love Ryan so much, and I cannot believe that our eyeballs have been blessed today. I am just so thankful. We've had Ryan on the schedule for like
4 months.
4 months. It's been like we've just been looking forward to it forever. But next week we have on Rusty Tonics, which is going to be a return interview. I am so excited. Rusty Tonics RPG is recently rebranded. I keep forgetting. And that's going to actually be on Stormy's birthday stream. We get to have on Rusty Tonics for Bandwidth and Banter. So it's a super extra special stream. I believe it's going to be at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time next Friday. So guys, if you have any questions or ideas or stories, message me. You're welcome to message me. My DMs are always open. If you guys have any things that you want to say. So message me. Just be like, I got you, girl. Here we are. Here's some things.
We'll be reaching out to some of you.
Accept.
For sure.
You know who I'll message. You know. I love you guys so much. And that's about it. I think that's it.
Well done. Thank you, Druid. I love all you guys. This has been an amazing episode, as they all are, but my gosh, this is just fantastic.
Not to play favorites.
Let's do the wrap up. Thank you for coming to the show.
Please drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below.
If you're listening to the podcast,
please rate and review the episode.
We are Bandwidth
and Banter.
Thank you.
And good night.
Bye, guys.